Israel has been carrying out more airstrikes against militants in the Gaza Strip after its targeted killing of a top Palestinian commander overnight. Israel says Bahaa Abu el-Atta of the Palestinian militant group Islamic Jihad was behind a series of rocket attacks on its territory. Palestinian militants responded by firing rockets at Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv. Citizens across southern and central Israel have been instructed to stay inside. It is one of the worst escalations of violence on the Israel-Gaza border in years. And for more on this story, we can speak to journalist Hazem Balusha. He's following this in Gaza City. Hi, Hazem. Thank you for joining us. Can you bring us up to date on what's been happening at the moment there in Gaza?
Well, as you mentioned, today was a day of exchanging firing rockets from Gaza. Tens of rockets were fired from Gaza into the Israeli cities, reached Tel Aviv, but most of it was to the nearby cities. The Israeli jets and air forces targeted many places, mainly military sites, and some people, no faction claimed responsibility or announced anything, but apparently they are those people who are, according to Israel, they stand behind firing rockets. So since the morning, Gaza is a different day. It's out of sudden. There is escalation after years of quietness. Schools, government institutions, and banks are closed today in Gaza.
Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he did speak earlier at a press conference. Let's listen now to what he said about the killing of this Gaza militant.
In the past year, this arch-terrorist was the main generator of terrorism from the Strip. He initiated, planned and carried out many attacks. He fired hundreds of rockets at communities in the Gaza periphery, whose suffering we haven't ignored. He was in the midst of plotting additional attacks these very days. He was a ticking bomb.
So we heard the words there, a ticking bomb. You know, how significant was he?
Well, I mean, actually, it's weird how this name become in the top news. Actually, the name of Bahaa Abu el-Atta appeared like a couple of months ago, as Israel accused him of standing behind firing rockets into Israel, precisely at when the rockets fired when Netanyahu himself was giving a speech in a city of Ashdod before the elections. He's not the top leader of military wing of Islamic Jihad. He's not the first person. He's one of the commanders who's as Islamic Jihad said, he is the commander of northern region in the Gaza Strip. The talks and the people started to talk about him since the Israelis started to accuse him of standing behind the rockets fired into Israel.
And it has now led to this, as you said, significant escalation. Hazem, where do you think this is heading?
Well, this is a hard question to answer. It's too early to say that if there is going to be a fourth war. It depends, actually, to be honest, on the Hamas reaction. Hamas is the biggest power in Gaza, and it's the biggest military capabilities in Gaza. If they joined the retaliation and they responded and firing rockets into Israel, it might go broader and bigger. But if Hamas, which is more willingly, according to the analysts, that will give the opportunity to Islamic Jihad to respond and fire rockets, which means that this would be limited and it will have an end within a short time, maybe days, maybe hours. We don't know.
All right, journalist Hazem Balusha speaking to us from Gaza City. Thank you very much.